Welcome inside the Emerson Gym at the Haas Athletic Center on the campus of Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts. Today, we have women's volleyball action for the first Saturday of the season. This is the first match of 3 today as part of today's tri-match. It's a non-conference matchup between the Wheaton College Lions versus the Emmanuel College Saints. This is Sal Lopez in the call today from the NewMax Sports Network, and we welcome you into the broadcast. Wheaton College, record of 1-0, won their first matchup at home on Thursday night against UMass Dartmouth in 3 sets. Emmanuel will play in their first matchup today against Wheaton. Emmanuel located 40 miles north of Wheaton College in Norton, as Emmanuel is in the Fenway-Kenmore section of Boston, Massachusetts. Wheaton College, their first match of the season, recapping it on Thursday at home against UMass Dartmouth. The Lions winning in 3 sets, 25-17, 25-22, 25-22. As Wheaton came back twice in sets number 2 and 3, trailing 22-20, and both of those sets to rally off 5 straight points to take their last 2 sets, 25-22. The Lions led the total kills column, 39-25, as Wheaton had a hitting percentage as a team of .366 and held the Corsairs to a hitting percentage of .153. The first match allowed Wheaton to show some great depth with their first-year players in their collegiate debut. Hollis Hansen, Julia Wingler, and Sydney Lyon combined for a grand total of 16 kills of 39 total as a team. That's over 41% of the team kills in the first match coming from the incoming first-year class. Bailey Madrick was the team high and the match high in total kills. She had 14, tied for the 4th most kills of her career. Hollis Hansen and Julia Wingler both recorded 6 kills in their first collegiate match. Hannah George, the setter, led the Lions with 24 assists. And the libero, Sophie Wilhelm, led Wheaton with 14 total digs. Wheaton College with 4 straight seasons with at least 15 victories or greater under head coach Craig Letourneau. Wheaton last season with a record of 15-10 overall. Emmanuel looking to get back on the right track. They have posted single-digit wins in the past 4 seasons. The Saints' last winning season was in 2014 when Emmanuel finished with a record of 24-12. Last season, Emmanuel finished 9-18 overall, went 4-9 in the Great Northeast Athletic Conference. This will be the 17th all-time meeting between the two programs today. Wheaton College leading the overall series, 12 wins and 4 losses. So Wheaton has won the last 3 matchups against Emmanuel. In the last meeting back in 2016, that's when Wheaton won in 5 sets at home. Both of these teams projected in their preseason conference poll. Wheaton College coming in 7th place in the NewMac conference projections. That's out of 11 teams in the conference. Emmanuel picked to finish 10th of 14 teams in the GNAC Great Northeast Athletic Conference preseason poll. Both of these teams returned the majority of their roster from last season. Wheaton College returning 9 of 13 players from last season's team, which went 15-10. And Emmanuel, they also had 2 players graduate from their roster last season. They returned 11 of 16 players from last season's roster. We highlight Emmanuel here first as they return 3 players who had over 100 kills from last season. Those 3 players are Shauna Phillips, the junior middle blocker from Middleborough, Massachusetts, Sasha Hyacinth, the junior outside hitter from Stoughton, Massachusetts, and Kerry Shea, the senior outside hitter from Tewksbury, Massachusetts. For Emmanuel, Rachel Coleman returns, the senior setter from Peabody, Massachusetts, as she led Emmanuel with 513 total assists last season. And Tatiana Correa, the libero, senior as well from Peabody, Massachusetts, she returns as she was 6th in the GNAC last season, averaging 3.92 digs per set. For Wheaton College, they returned their top 4 or 5 kill leaders from last season, their number 2 setter, and also their top 2 of 3 dig leaders, as they have 6 players returning that played in at least 80 sets last season. Bailey Madrick, the top kill leader, returning as she had a match-high 14 kills on Thursday night against UMass Dartmouth with a top hitting percentage of .650 in the match. Anna Shaheen back as well for the junior from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, as she was number 3 on Wheaton last season with 170 total kills. Emily Hickey, senior right side hitter from Kennebunk, Maine. She is back as well for Wheaton alongside Juliana Flack, the junior outside hitter from St. Petersburg, Florida. Hannah George, the senior setter from Duxbury, Massachusetts. She is back with 348 total assists from last season. Great start to the first match against UMass Dartmouth for George, as she had 24 total assists in Thursday night's victory. Sophie Wilhelm, the captain libero from Saunderstown, Rhode Island, had a team-high 14 digs in the victory against UMass Dartmouth on Thursday night. She is a captain alongside with Arianja Rajahi, the senior from Marlborough, Connecticut. So this is match number 1 of 3 today being played at the Emerson Gym in Norton, Massachusetts. Sal Lopez in the call today on the NewMax Sports Network for all 3 matchups. Second matchup at 1 p.m. will be between Emmanuel and Salem State, as Salem State will play their first match of the season. And then Wheaton College will have the final match of the season once again against Salem State at 3 p.m. Wheaton College Lions, coached by Craig Letourneau in his 12th season, turning around Wheaton's program. Last 4 seasons, a record of 80 victories and 41 losses. And then Emmanuel with a second-year head coach, that is Morgan Thatcher, as she was named the 4th head coach of the program since its start in 1988 for Emmanuel, in their first season going 9-18 and 4-9 in the GMAC. So coming up in a couple of moments here, we will have starting lineups in the national anthem in Norton, Massachusetts at Wheaton College here at the Haas Athletic Center inside the Emerson Gym. We'll be back in a couple of moments here. Sal Lopez in the call today on the NewMax Sports Network.
Good morning and welcome to Emerson Gymnasium on the campus of Wheaton College for today's NCAA Division III volleyball match featuring the Emmanuel College Saints and your Wheaton College Lions. Wheaton College, the NewMac, the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, homophobic remarks, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Also, consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages is prohibited. Now at this time, the playing of the national anthem. And now let's meet the starters for each team. First, for the visiting Saints, a junior outside hitter from Stoughton, Massachusetts, number 2, Sasha Hyacinth. A senior defensive specialist from Peabody, Massachusetts, the libero, number 3, Tatiana Correa. A senior outside hitter from Tewksbury, Massachusetts, number 6, Carrie Shea. A junior middle blocker from Middleborough, Massachusetts, number 11, Shauna Phillips. A sophomore middle blocker from Wells, Maine, number 13, Jaden Greaves. A first-year outside hitter from Plainville, Connecticut, number 28, Victoria Gallatin. A senior setter from Peabody, Massachusetts, number 31, Rachel Coleman. The Saints are coached by Morgan Thatcher, assisted by Claire Manuzak. And now let's meet your Lions. First-year middle hitter from Parker, Colorado, number 2, Hollis Hanson. A senior right side hitter from Barrington, Illinois, number 4, Bailey Madrick. A senior setter from Duxbury, Massachusetts, number 9, Anna George. A junior middle hitter from Weathersfield, Connecticut, number 18, Megan Kelleher. A first-year outside hitter from Weston, Connecticut, number 21, Sydney Lyon. A senior libero from Saunderstown, Rhode Island, number 23, Sophie Wilhelm. A senior outside hitter from Kennebunk, Maine, number 24, Emily Hickey. The Lions are coached by Frank Letourneau, assisted by Lochte Meow.
And welcome inside the Emerson Gym at the Haas Athletic Center on the campus of Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts. Today, we have women's volleyball action for the first Saturday of the season. It's a non-conference matchup between the Wheaton College Lions versus the Emmanuel College Saints. This is Sal Lopez in the call today for the New Mac Sports Network, and we welcome you into the broadcast. Match number 1 of 3 today, part of the tri-match at Wheaton College. Wheaton College with a record on Thursday night in their first match of the season at home against UMass Dartmouth, winning in 3 sets, 25-17, 25-22, 25-22. So Wheaton totaled out 39 kills to 25 by UMass Dartmouth. Top kill leaders in the match were Bailey Madrick with 14, Hollis Hanson, Julia Wingler with 6. In their collegiate debut, Hannah George, 24 total assists, and Sophie Wilhelm had 14 digs. Wheaton College with the white jerseys, blue numbers, blue letters for the matchup. The libero in blue for Wheaton, number 23, Sophie Wilhelm, the senior from Saunderstown, Rhode Island. And then for Emmanuel, they have the blue uniforms, gray letters, gray numbers with a yellow outline. The libero in gray for Emmanuel, number 3, Tatiana Correa, senior from Peabody, Massachusetts. It'll be the Saints to get the ball to start. This is Rachel Coleman, number 31, the senior captain setter from Peabody, Mass. Floats the serve to the back and gets the ace. Catches Emily Hickey off guard. First point in the match for Emmanuel. That time gets played by Lion. George with a set. Poked. And first point for Wheaton. That is Hollis Hanson, the first-year middle hitter from Parker, Colorado. Tremendous start to her collegiate debut on Thursday night for Hanson. 6 kills. Led Wheaton with 3 service aces and 2 assisted blocks. George serves. Correa. And that's a kill by Sasha Hyacinth. Set up by her teammate Rachel Coleman as Emmanuel goes on top 2-1 in the first set. Now the serve, Kerry Shea, number 6, the senior from Tewksbury, Mass. Played first by Hickey. George sets up Madrick. Off the block. Played by Coleman. Shea to Wilhelm. George sends it back. Couldn't put a free ball. Not enough on it for Emily Hickey. So it went back off of George. And Emmanuel with a great start, leading 3-1. Shea serves. Wilhelm to George. And that's a kill by number 21, Sydney Lyon. The two first-year players with a kill so far in the match. First one by Hollis Hansen for Wheaton, and now Sydney Lyon on the board. Lyon with 4 kills, 4 digs in her collegiate debut Thursday night against UMass Dartmouth. The first-year player from Weston, Connecticut. And now Lyon serves. Off to Shea. Coleman sets up a poke over the net, but Emmanuel did touch the net, though. Violation by Victoria Galazin. Lyon, strong serve, played by the libero Correa. Poked over the net by Galazin. Lyon, George, outside attack. Hickey gets the kill to the back row. First lead of the match now for Wheaton. And when they've had the ball in their hands, they've been able to start to go on the run. Lyon will serve again. Off of Correa, gets the ace. That is something that Wheaton thrives upon, is controlling the match through their service aces. Last season, they ranked 32nd nationally, averaging 2.66 service aces per set. They will get another one. Back-to-back aces by Sydney Lyon for Wheaton to go up 6-3. Lyon once again will serve. Cross court. There's a third. Off of Galazin. 3 in a row by Sydney Lyon. That will be a fourth. Grazed the back service line in the court of play. It's 8-3 Wheaton. 4 straight aces in a row by Sydney Lyon, the first-year player from Weston, Connecticut. That time it's played by Shea. Galazin goes cross-court off to Wilhelm. George sets up Madrick. Sends it cross-court to Coleman. Roll shot to the middle. Shea was able to track down the hit by Hansen. George sets up Hickey. That's good in the court of play by Emily Hickey for the kill. That is 7 straight points by Wheaton after trailing 3-2. They are now up 9-3. Timeout taken on the floor by Morgan Thatcher of Emmanuel. We'll be back in about a minute from now here. Sal Lopez in the call today. Wheaton College leads first set against Emmanuel 9-3. So we'll be back in a couple moments on the New Max Sports Network. Welcome back to Wheaton College. The Lions leading 9-3 over to Emmanuel College Saints here in the early stage of the first set. Both of these teams critical in the offseason when it came to roster retainment. Wheaton College returning 9 of 13 players from last season's team, which only saw 2 players graduate, Adara Hamilton and Haley McCrate. Emmanuel had 2 players graduate as well in 2021 as they returned 11 of 16 players from last season's roster. Back to action, Sydney Lyon serves. Played down the far line, first by Shea. And a hit too strong. Out past the back service line by Sasha Hyacinth. Eight straight points now for Wheaton College. They have the upper hand, playing one match already on Thursday night against UMass Dartmouth. Sydney Lyon had 4 straight aces. Here's a free ball. George with a set. Hansen gets the kill. Pokes it off the block and down. Hollis Hansen with a tremendous start this season. Incredible depth by Wheaton from their first-year class, making an impact between Hansen, Lyon, and Wingler, combining for 16 of 39 kills, 41% in the first match. George with a set, goes right side Magic. Played by Correa, goes all the way up. It's playable, though. Roll shot sent over the net by Shea. George over to Hickey. Off the block, goes down. And that'll be another kill for Wheaton. 12-3, rallying off 10 straight points in a row for the home team here. As Lyon will serve, strong serve. Gets her 5th ace of the first set by Sydney Lyon. Remarkable. And this is only set number 1. That serve goes too long. That's the first point in a while for the Saints now. And that just shows how dangerous Wheaton College is when they have the ball in their hands and when they're serving. So Tatiana Correa, the libero in gray for Emmanuel serves. Off the fingertips of Hickey, Wilhelm plays it. And too short. Missed the mark by Lyon there. She tried to attack it straight instead of getting underneath it. So Correa will go again, and that's too long. First of 3 matches today. Emmanuel will take on Salem State at approximately 1 p.m. here at Wheaton College. And then Wheaton will have the final match against Salem State. Salem State will play their first game against Emmanuel at 1. Coleman sets up Hyacinth, tips it over, gets the point. Sasha Hyacinth, the junior from Stoughton, Massachusetts. Number 4 in the team last season for the Saints with 117 total kills. She is one of 3 players that return, with her, Shauna Phillips, and Kerry Shea with over 100 kills last season. Battle for it at the front of the net. Correa, roll shot, skipped off the net. Nice diving dig by Hickey. Hickey off the block, horizontal, able to find its way for a kill. Defense turns into offense on that last round by Wheaton, as now they have the top kill leader from last season serving. This is Bailey Magic, the senior from Barrington, Illinois. Straight line serve played by Correa. Free ball. George, Hickey, chance, strikes. She does. Right to the back row. Julia Daggett wasn't able to get to it. And that's back-to-back kills by Emily Hickey. Hickey with a career-high 15 kills against Eastern Connecticut State last season. Number 12, Ariana Rajahi into the match now, as she is co-captain with her teammate Sophie Wilhelm. Rajahi, the senior from Marlborough, Connecticut. Coleman with a set, and put over the net for the point. That is Shauna Phillips. Phillips, the number 2 kill leader last season for Emmanuel. She tallied 145 total kills. Off Wilhelm. George saves it towards her right. Wilhelm free balls it out over the net. Off the block. Kelleher gets the point for Wheaton. Megan Kelleher, 6 feet tall, able to get the block to put Wheaton up by 10 once again. Emily Hickey substitutes out of the game, coming into the game for the first time today. This is Isabel Coca, Jr. from San Marcos, California, defensive specialist, had 20 service aces last season, had one on Thursday against UMass Dartmouth. Free ball, tapped over, Kelleher gets the points. Everybody making an impact here in the first set for Wheaton. All around, total team impact right now by the Lions. Coca serves. That gets played by Tingalig. Wilhelm, George, Lyon, cross court, Correa. Tipped over. Sydney Lyon on the far outside gets the point. A lot of strong hits by Wheaton have led to free ball opportunities battle for in front of the net that they've just had to size and tipped it over. That's twice recently. Coca, George, Kelleher, off of Correa. Correa sends it over. Kelleher with George. They go outside Lyon. Too long. Point for Emmanuel brings the first set to 11. As here's number 11, Shauna Phillips, who will serve. And that serve too long. Smart decision at the back row for Wheaton, electing not to play it. 5 points away from taking set number 1 here for the Lions. Sophie Wilhelm now to serve, as she was named New England Women's Volleyball Association honorable mention in 2021 for the captain from Saunderstown, Rhode Island. And she gets the point. Great start here for the Lions. Wilhelm again will serve. That rockets back at her own net for a service error. So here's the setter for Emmanuel, number 31, Rachel Coleman. Senior from Peabody, Mass, who will serve. Floats it to the back, played by Coca. Hansen, too strong. And Emmanuel with 2 straight points. Floating serve, played first by Rajahi George. Puts it out. He was trying to set up her teammate, and then it just went over the net and wide. It was close, though, to the line. That was actually closer than expected, but not on her team side for the setup opportunity. Wilhelm with George. Lyon skips off the net, finds the middle, gets the kill. Wheaton doubling Emmanuel here in the first set now, 22-11. The ball will go back to the Lions. Hannah George did a good chunk of the serving on Thursday night against UMass Dartmouth. Here she is. She had 1 service ace against the Corsairs. Volleyed over. Put over the net back by Lyon. Shea, cross court. Wilhelm to George. Here's Lyon. Sends it back to Correa. Shea. Across the court to the back row, played by Coca. Magic. Powerful hits. And it goes all the way to the seats here in the Emerson gym. Bailey Magic, strong kill. She had 14, a match high on Thursday night's victory season opener against UMass Dartmouth. George floats the serve, tried to catch the defense off guard, played first by Shea. Sydney Lyon delivers once again on the front outside. She's had a tremendous start to this first set. She rallied off 5 service aces in a row to the beginning to the mid portion of set 1. Shea off to George. Wilhelm. Lyon blocked. George, volley to the middle. Correa. Shea blocked. And that's Magic, who gets the final point of set number 1 as she blocks Kerry Shea. Wheaton College out on a roll. They were trailing early 3-2. They came back and they tallied off 10 total points in a row before Emmanuel was able to get the ball to serve once again. And it's 25-11. Wheaton College taking set 1 here on their home floor. We'll be back in a couple moments here for set number 2. Sal Lopez in the call today on the NewMax Sports Network as we are at Wheaton College inside the Emerson Gym at the Haas Athletic Center here. As we'll be back in a couple moments on the NewMax Sports Network. And welcome back inside the Emerson Gym at the Haas Athletic Center, the campus of Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts. Wheaton College taking the first set. As we will have set number 2 coming up in just a couple moments. 25-11 was the first set. If you're watching the live stream, we have loaded in the zeros here for the second set. So it looks like it carried over from the UMass-Dartmouth matchup on Thursday night, which sets number 2 and 3 were 25-22. Wheaton taking sets 2 and 3. So reset the score here on the live stream. Wheaton taking set number 1, 25-11. They have swapped sides now on the floor. Wheaton going right to left with the white uniforms, blue numbers, blue letters. Emmanuel, blue uniforms, gray numbers, gray letters. As Hannah George serves. Point for Wheaton to start off set 2. George serves. Played first by Tangillig. Poked over by Shea. Diving dig by Shaheen. Free ball by Hansen. Correa. Set by Coleman. Wilhelm. Lyon. And a point for Emmanuel. Off the block, back on the Wheaton side. So here's the number 2 kill leader from last season, Shauna Phillips, now who will serve. Junior middle blocker from Middleborough, Massachusetts. Off to Wilhelm. George. Right down the line. That's a kill by number 7. Juliana Flack for the first kill in the match. Flack played in just 1 set on Thursday. She was 5th in the team last season, tallying 108 kills. She had 8 assists on Thursday night. Shea able to send it over. George sets up Hansen. Off to Shea. Coleman. Shea. Shea to the middle. And Emmanuel ecstatic about that point right here as they've been able to hang with Wheaton. Both teams now with the first 2 points they've got for set 2. Emmanuel led early on in set 1, 3-2, before the Lions tallied off 10 straight points in a row. Shaheen plays it first. Strong hit to the back. Off the block. That's a point for the Lions. Anna Shaheen there for the block. And now Hollis Hansen will serve, first-year player from Parker, Colorado. Had a team-high 3 service aces Thursday night against UMass Dartmouth in her collegiate debut. Hansen floats it to the back row. Coleman sets up Shea. Shea off to George. Roll shot. That's another point by Anna Shaheen, the junior from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. The Lions doing a great job right now finding the middle of the floor where Emmanuel's been spacing a lot in the front, a lot in the back. Off of Shea. That's an ace for Wheaton. Hollis Hansen able to get the ace, and now the Lions starting to build momentum once again in set 2. Strong serve played by Shea. Coleman blocked at the net by Shaheen, along with Julia Wingler, the first-year player. At the back, tracked down by Lyon. Diving dig to her right by Correa. Cross court. Free ball and out. Went off of Hansen. So now the ball will go back to Emmanuel with Carrie Shane, number 6, the senior from Tewksbury, Massachusetts. Shea sends it off to Lyon. Battle for it front of the net. Volleyed over by Wingler. And could not set it over was Jaden Greaves. Here's number 7, Juliana Flack now serving. Getting her first serving action of today's match. Strong spiraling serve down the middle, played by Correa first. To the corner. That's a kill by number 28, Victoria Galazin. She's the outside hitter, first-year player from Plainville, Connecticut. Flack substitutes out of the match. Ariana Rajahi back in, number 12. defensive specialist for Wheaton. Correa served too long. So 7-4 now in set number 2 for Wheaton. Looking to build upon their lead here. Anna Shaheen now will serve. She had 5 kills, 1 assist, 2 digs, and a service ace on Thursday night against UMass Dartmouth. Missing the mark that time, just a little too long by Shaheen. So here's Sasha Hyacinth, number 2, the junior from Stoughton, Mass, who serves. George sets up a poke over the net. Blocked by Coleman. Another chance for Wheaton. It's a big hit by Anna Shaheen. Galizin to the middle to Rajahi. Twist and turn, George. Dug up, though, by Hyacinth. Wheaton will keep it alive. Great defense in the back row by Anna Shaheen, the first one there. Off the block. And to the right it goes to Rajahi. As Emmanuel will cut the Wheaton lead to just 1. Great competitive set number 2 between these two programs right now. Sasha Hyacinth again serves. Wilhelm the first to play it. George. Shaheen with a free ball over. Correa. Coleman. To the middle. Rajahi. Nice dig diving up forward. Whistle blows though. It's going to be a double hit charge to the Lions. The Saints starting to find some momentum right now in this match. The first match of 3 today. After this will be Emmanuel taking on Salem State, and then Wheaton will take on Salem State in the final match today at 3 p.m. Service error charged to Sasha Hyacinth. So the Lions go back up on top, 8-7. Here's Sophie Wilhelm, the senior captain, in blue for Wheaton, who has the ball now to serve. Wilhelm sends it off to Correa. Rajahi off to George. Free ball over the net by Wilhelm. Outside opportunity. And that goes to the corner. She's been hitting her spots in this match. First-year player Victoria Galazin once again sends it where Wheaton's defense was not lined up and gets the point. So Galazin serves. Off to Shaheen. George. Poked over the net by Rajahi. Shea, strong to the back. Shaheen. George. Free ball. Missing the mark on that one was Shauna Phillips. So point back for Wheaton. Back to back. Back and forth in this second set we've got right now. 9-8 Wheaton leads. The Lions taking the first set here today in Norton, 25-11. But Emmanuel with just 1 set out of their system. Wheaton now has played 4 on the season. The Saints have started to find a rhythm here, hanging with Wheaton at the moment. So Hannah George now will serve for Wheaton. She is one of 5 seniors in the roster for the Lions. They have 9 upper-class players, 4 juniors, no sophomores, and 6 first-year players represented. Ricochets around. That was a big hit over the net by Lyon, but great defense by Emmanuel. Off the block set by Shaheen. Rolls off of an Emmanuel player, gets the kill. George serves. Off to Correa. Coleman with a set up for Shea. And Carrie Shea sends it down to the back. So 10-9 with the Saints here with a chance to tie it up at 10 apiece if they do get this point. Shaheen the first to play it. Now Wilhelm. Flack, cross court. Free ball. Chance here for Wheaton. Flack. Strong kill by the Lions. That is the first-year player, Selena Henn, in her first set of her collegiate debut. That was a monstrous kill by Selena Henn. Did not play on Thursday night against UMass Dartmouth. And the serve too long by Henn. So Wheaton with tremendous depth, what they've shown so far through almost 4.5 sets approximately of women's volleyball action this season. They played 12 of 14 players in their first matchup against UMass Dartmouth. They only had 2 players who did not play in their season opener. Henn was one of them, and Henn now playing here, number 27, in the second set against Emmanuel. Hollis Hansen with a great collegiate debut start. She just served. Blocked at the front. That's another first-year player making an impact. Julia Wingler gets the point off the block. Impressive start to that first match on Thursday night, with Wheaton College winning in 3 sets against UMass Dartmouth. It allowed the Lions to show that great depth that they have. Hollis Hansen, Julia Wingler, Sydney Lyon combined for a grand total of 16 kills to the 39 total. That's over 40% between those 3 first-year players. This is the largest lead right now for the Lions. They just went up 14-10 in set number 2, starting to get on a run at the moment, and that leads to a timeout being taken by Morgan Thatcher of Emmanuel. Wheaton College took set 1 tonight, 25-11, as we are in the second set right now, past the midway portion, 14-10. Sal Lopez in the call today, as we'll be back in a couple moments on the New Max Sports Network. And welcome inside the Emerson Gym at the Haas Athletic Center, the campus of Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts. Back to action, the Wheaton College leading set number 2, 14-10. In the first match today of 3 in Wheaton. This is against Emmanuel College from the Fenway Kenmore section of Boston. Hollis Hansen serves. Strong serve, gets the ace. That goes past number 4, Paula Tangilig, to the back padding. This is the largest lead right now for the Lions in set 2. Hansen with 3 service aces in their collegiate debut Thursday night against UMass Dartmouth. That's a little bit too strong. Service error that time for Hansen. Substitution now for Emmanuel, number 28. Victoria Galazin checks into the match and places number 1, Allison Doherty. Kerry Shea serves. Shaheen, George, Wingler puts it over. Galazin off to George, who dug it up off the dive. Shaheen, cross court, played by Correa. Free ball. Chance for Wheaton to set it up to get a point here. Right side attack, over the net by Flack. Coleman sets up. Hyacinth blocked at the net. It's out, though, touched by Wheaton, so it's going to be a point for Emmanuel. So Sasha Hyacinth will get the kill. Shea spirals it off to Hen. And it went sideways off a Wingler. So now Emmanuel on 2 straight points that they have earned. Shea again. Off to the first-year player, Selena Hen. Shaheen, cross-court. Big dig by Correa towards her right. Galazin off to Wilhelm. George. Shaheen gets the kill. Big, strong crush down the near side line by Anna Shaheen, the junior from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. This will be Juliana Flack who serves. Flack sends it cross-court to Shea. Galazin off to Wilhelm. Chance for Wheaton to set it up. Shaheen once again off the block. Coleman. Hyacinth blocked. Point Wheaton. Anna Shaheen along with Julia Wingler both there for the denial. Wheaton able to stop these Emmanuel runs and go on runs themselves. And it starts through the serve. Just missing the mark that time, though, a little bit too long. You see Ariana Rajahi checks into the match now in place of Juliana Flack. Wingler. Big hit to Correa. Free ball over the net by Shea. George sets a Wingler. Poke to the middle. Correa has it. Coleman. Galazin. Finds an opening. Gets the points. A little bit too far back by Rajahi there. Wasn't able to track it down. Number 28, Victoria Galazin's had a pretty solid match for her collegiate debut. Just finding the openings to drop it down the hard one on Wheaton's side. Attacking error for Anna Shaheen puts the second set win in 1 now. Correa serves. Correa gets the ace. Now we're tied. Tatiana Correa, one of 3 captains on Emmanuel. She's the libero. Her teammate, Rachel Coleman. Both are from Peabody, Massachusetts. Big response right back for the Lions. So they get their point to go up by 1. And then the third captain on Emmanuel is number 44, Julia Daggett. Galazin couldn't play it. Went to the left of her towards the scorer's table. That's an ace by Anna Shaheen. So Wheaton with 9 upper-class players, 5 seniors, 4 juniors. Emmanuel with 8 upper-class players, 4 seniors, 4 juniors. Both teams with 6 first-year players. Emmanuel hanging in right now. Yet to see Bailey Magic in quite some time, though, the top kill leader. That's too far out. So Wheaton's trying to get a good look at some of their other players here, building depth in the roster. 19-19. Sasha Hyacinth will serve again. George with a set. Off the block. Dug up by Hyacinth. Over to the back. Played by Shaheen. George. Wingler. Oh, she's rejected. Wow. Shauna Phillips with a block. Takes the lead for Emmanuel. 20-19. Shauna Phillips, the junior from Middleborough, Massachusetts, the middle blocker, with an incredible defensive stop right there. Free ball by Rajahi. Hyacinth. Galazin to the middle. George off to Correa. Coleman sets up Galazin. Too strong, and it's tied at 20. Wheaton College yet to drop a set so far this season, as they have won 4 sets to start off. They were trailing twice against UMass Dartmouth, 22-20, in sets number 2 and 3 on Thursday night, and able to rally off 5 straight points in both of those sets to win 25-22. Hollis Hansen back into the match. And that will go towards the Wheaton bench and out. It's a point by the Lions. So Sophie Wilhelm serves. Coleman with a set. Galazin skidded off the nets. And it will be a point for Wheaton here. The timeout taken by Emmanuel. So Wheaton up in set number 2, 22-20 right now. Looking to see if they can continue to take set 2 of this match, 3 points away from doing so on their home floor in Norton, Massachusetts. We'll be back in a couple moments here on the New Max Sports Network. (22-20), Wheaton College leading set number 2 against Emmanuel here in the first match of 3 today at Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts. Quick update, couple matches going around in the NUMAC at the moment. MIT leading 1-0 over Oglethorpe, as MIT is leading in the second set 16-12. WPI took the first set against Husson today, 25-10. Service error for Wheaton by Anna Shaheen. It's only a 1-point set 2 match. Here's Victoria Galazin. Sends it off to Rajahi. Cross court, hit by Hansen. Coleman, Shea. And that's a point for Emmanuel. To the far line, it goes by Kerry Shea. It's 22-all. Wheaton rallied off 5 straight points from the timeout in sets number 2 and 3 against UMass Dartmouth after trailing 22-20. Emmanuel this time around trailing 22-20. And the Lions too strong again. They thought it was touched. They will get the point, though. It was touched. Off a fingertip of a Saint player. The Lions get the point, and it's 23-22 Wheaton. So that's a kill by number 27, Selena Henn, first-year player from Atwater, California. Now Hannah George will serve. Floats it to Correa. Off the block. Henn was there. Got a whistle. And it will be Wheaton point. It's going to be a violation at the net, charged to Emmanuel. So now Wheaton on set point here. In set number 2, up 24-22. Coleman. Off the Shea. Over the net, it goes to Shaheen. George. Hansen. She does the honors. Puts it away. gets the final point of set number 2 for Hollis Hansen. 25-22, Wheaton College up 2-0 now against Emmanuel. It's the first match today of 3, part of the tri-match at Wheaton College. Great start for the Lions as they are looking to go 2-0 on the season here. As we will be back in a couple moments here for the third set coming up inside the Emerson Gym at the Haas Athletic Center. Sal Lopez in the call today on the NewMax Sports Network. Back to action right now in the third set inside the Emerson Gym at the Haas Athletic Center on the campus of Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts. This is Sal Lopez today on the NewMax Sports Network. At the moment, don't have any statistics loaded into update, but the scores from set number 1, set number 2 were Wheaton 25-11, taking set 1, and then Wheaton winning set number 2, 25-22. So the Lions up 2-0. Quick update in other games throughout the NewMac at the moment. WPI leading 2-0 over Husson in non-conference play, taking set 1 25-10, set 2 25-9. MIT leading 1-0 over Oglethorpe, winning 25-17 in set 1, currently leading 21-15 in set 2. Emmanuel now back on the right side of the floor as they will serve to start off. And Galazin gets the ace. So she's had pretty strong collegiate debut for the first-year player from Plainville, Connecticut, Victoria Galazin. Over in the GNAC, Riviere, the top favorite projected this season in the GNAC, winning in 3 sets over Skidmore today. Huge block. Carrie Shea denied by the first-year player, Julia Wingler, who gets the first point of the third set for Wheaton. Brandeis up 2-0 now over Colby Sawyer. And Regis tied with Paul Quinn. That match is out in Texas. Tied into the third set 1-1. Cross-court kill by Emmanuel. That's number 11, Shauna Phillips, the number 2 kill leader from last season. Phillips with 145 total kills, 41 blocks, number 2 in the team last season for the Saints. Phillips serves. George with a set. They will go right side this time. And Hickey couldn't put it over. So Wheaton back with majority of their experienced players on the floor right now. Bailey Magic, Emily Hickey back into the match. That's a kill by number 33, Joya Wingler, the first-year player from Fuquay Varina, North Carolina. She had a strong debut. She played in 2 sets, 6 kills in those 2 sets. Hickey with a service error. Rachel Coleman, the setter, will serve now for Emmanuel. One of 3 captains on the roster. Her and Tatiana Correa, both from Peabody, Mass. Off of George to the right of the antenna, and Emmanuel has their largest lead. 5-2 now for the Saints. First play by Shaheen. George. Shaheen sends it off to Coleman. Correa. Hyacinth. Big dig by Hickey, tumbling. George wasn't able to get to it, though. Great effort by George right there. Emmanuel getting stronger as this match keeps on going on. Magic off Correa and back. That's a point. Bailey Magic, a match high 14 kills against UMass Dartmouth on Thursday night. She hit .650 in the match. Had a .277 hitting percentage last season. That was number 10 in the NUMAC. And that is an ace by Wheaton. Joya Wingler puts it right to the line, gets the point. Wingler serves again. And that goes too far wide. So Carrie Shea now serves. Off it goes to Shaheen. George poked over the net by Kelleher. Hyacinth blocked. That's a Wheaton point. Megan Kelleher right there for the block. Back into the match, number 32, Isabel Coca. Bailey Magic will substitute out. Coca, the junior from San Marcos, California, defensive specialist for Wheaton. At the front of the net, Galazin sends it cross court. Twist and turn right to the middle. Hannah George gets the kill. That's the senior setter from Duxbury, Massachusetts. Saw the defense off guard, gets the point. Coca again serves. Shea with a dig. Galazin off the block. And another Wheaton point. Megan Kelleher along with Hannah George, both there for the denial. And that's now 3 points in a row by Wheaton to tie it up at 7. Coca off the Shea. Correa sends a free ball over. George with a set. They go outside. Shaheen gets the point. Big cross-court kill by Anna Shaheen, the junior outside hitter from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And now 4 straight points in a row here in set 3 as Wheaton has captured a lead. 5 kills, 1 assist, 2 digs with a service ace. And the season opener for Shaheen. Coca serves. Played to the back by Hickey. Wilhelm digs it. George, outside attack. Shaheen, they go again. Saved by Coleman. Correa. Shea with a roll shot. George sets up Shaheen, taps it. And it's a point for Emmanuel. It touched the antenna. So getting good usage right now out of Anna Shaheen on the far outside. It dropped down, but it touched the antenna first. Kelleher gets blocked. And that's Shauna Phillips once again. It's not the first time Shauna Phillips has done that in a match, blocking her opponent. She had a strong block in the second set. Shaheen sends it to Galazin. Free ball over by Phillips. George poked over by Shaheen. Far side of the floor, Emmanuel. Free ball to the middle. Wilhelm, George, twist and turn, dug up by Correa. Chance for Wheaton to set it up. They go. Kelleher. And she missed the mark. I think they were a little bit too close, looked like, on that set right there between George and Kelleher, like directly next to each other, which could have factored into how she took an angle at that ball. Shaheen couldn't track it down. And that's 3 in a row now by the Saints. Been a third set of runs here. Wheaton College had a 4 straight point run. Make it 4 now for Emmanuel. That's an ace by Tatiana Correa. The Lions yet to take a timeout so far in the match by Craig Letourneau. Kelleher to the back corner. And again, just missed it. Could be a good opportunity to talk things over right now as Emmanuel has a 5-0 run there on in set 2. Set 3. (13-8). It's now 14-8 as the score adjusts. 15-8, the shot goes wide. And there's a timeout by Wheaton. So before the serve, we're to get point 14, a fault called on Wheaton's defense. Score's now 15-8 Emmanuel in set number 3 here, as Wheaton College has won their first 5 sets that they have played this season, sweeping UMass Dartmouth in 3 sets, and they took the first set 25-11 today, 25-22 in set number 2, and here's Emmanuel, largest lead of the match by 7 right here. We'll see if the Lions do have a comeback opportunity in them, or if this will go to a 4th set. We'll be back in a couple moments from now. Sal Lopez in the call today on the NewMax Sports Network. Wheaton College up 2-0 against Emmanuel, but Emmanuel leading set number 3, 15-8, as we'll be back in a few moments. And welcome back inside the Emerson Gym at the Haas Athletic Center here, the campus of Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts. Both teams filled with upper-class players. Wheaton College with 5 seniors, 4 juniors in the roster. Emmanuel with 4 seniors, 4 juniors. As we get back to action, Wheaton looking to see if they can get on the run. And they will get the kill by Megan Kelleher. Lucky there. It went wide, but it went off the fingertip of an Emmanuel player. So they get lucky with that point, and we'll see if this starts to put a spark to something now for the Lions. Anna Shaheen. Been a big part of this third set as she serves. Galazin sends it off to Coca. George goes outside. Hickey. That's a strong kill right there, set up by Hannah George with an assist. This has been a third set of runs. Emmanuel led early on in the third set, 8-4. Wheaton College tied it up at 8. And then Emmanuel tallied off 7 straight points to go at 15-8. It's now 15-10. With a kill by Sasha Hyacinth to make it 16-10. And now this will be Sasha Hyacinth who will serve, the junior from Stoughton, Massachusetts. Free ball. Haven't seen this opportunity, and wow, Wheaton got away with that one right there. It came back. Hickey off the block. Free ball again. Hickey. It's a point by Emmanuel. Went off the net, not off the block. (17-10) for the Saints, looking to extend it to a fourth set. Hyacinth serves. Cross court goes to Shaheen. George back to Hickey. She strikes in the middle. Emily Hickey finding her spots right now for Wheaton. Sophie Wilhelm, the captain for the Lions, now will serve. She's the senior from Saunderstown, Rhode Island. 14 digs opening night against UMass Dartmouth. Wilhelm with a big dig that time. Shaheen off to Hickey. Roll shot to the back it goes. Wilhelm plays it. There's Coca. Back to Wilhelm with a free ball. Great defense all around on this possession. Block. Hickey. Wilhelm. Back to Hickey. Over to the back row to Correa. Coleman. Drifting back to Shaheen. The front of the net. It's a point by Wheaton. Now it's a 5-point third set. The Lions looking for a comeback. Floating serve. That's an ace by Sophie Wilhelm. Here come the Lions roaring right back. Wheaton College last season strong in the serving department, 32nd nationally, averaging 2.66 service aces per set. Huge dig by Coca. It's going to be 4 hits on their side, though, for the Lions. And now a stop the Wheaton run. It's 18-13 Emmanuel. Galazin serves. Spirals to the back row, play by Coca. Hickey off the net. Here's a chance for Wheaton with a player down. Galazin gets up. Poked over by Wingler. That's a kill by Kerry Shea. And a timeout again taken by Craig Letourneau of Wheaton to talk things over. It is 19-16. Emmanuel here getting stronger throughout the course of this match right now. This is the first match of the season for Emmanuel. Wheaton playing their 6th set of this season as they played 3 sets on Thursday night against UMass Dartmouth. After this match will be Emmanuel versus Salem State. Salem State will play their first match of the season. That will begin approximately around 1 p.m. Eastern time today. And then the final match of today's tri-match, Wheaton College will face Salem State, as that will approximately take place around 3 p.m. today. So we'll be back in a couple moments here. Emmanuel looking to see if they can stretch it to a fourth set. It's 19-13 Emmanuel in set number 3 over Wheaton. Wheaton College leads 2-0. So we'll be back in a couple moments on the New Max Sports Network. Third set of runs here in Norton, Massachusetts. Once you thought Wheaton College was going to get on a run, Emmanuel has put a stop to that. So the Saints will have the ball coming out of this timeout. Strong first match in their collegiate debut by number 28, Victoria Galazin, the first-year player from Plainville, Connecticut. Hickey with a major kill right there as Galazin wasn't able to dig it up. 19-14. And we will see if this is able to get some momentum going for Wheaton. Isabel Coca checks out of the match. They bring in the top kill leader from last season, Bailey Magic, who led the Lions with 14 on Thursday night in their season opener. Off the block, Magic plays it. George sets up Magic, cross court. Just missing. Great spot right there to go at a horizontal diagonal, but just missed the mark. Floating off to Shaheen and missed it. So an ace for Shauna Phillips. Emmanuel 4 points away from forcing a fourth set. Here's a free ball. Oh, wow, right over to the front where Wingler was. Blocked at the net by Magic and Wingler. Free ball. George, over to Magic. There it is. 21-15. We'll see if that trend continues here. Hannah George setting up Bailey Magic. It'll be Emily Hickey who will serve now. Played by Correa. Might have been a little bit too long. Shea sends it back at her own net. 2-point run now for the Lions. Ariana Rajahi substitutes into the match in place of Emily Hickey. Rajahi in the back row along with her teammate Sophie Wilhelm, both captains for Wheaton. Rajahi, George, off to Magic. Roll shot, played by Wilhelm. George. Wingler gets the point. Off the block and down. Wheaton College looking to rally here. And it leads to a timeout taken by Morgan Thatcher of Emmanuel. 21-17 on the timeout right now. Emmanuel looking to force a fourth set. Wheaton College looking for a comeback that they have been no stranger to this season, trailing 22-20 in sets 2 and 3 against UMass Dartmouth. Coming from behind to tally 5 straight points in a row to take those 2 sets. And here they are once again, deja vu in the third set. Their second match of the season all over again. We'll be back in a couple moments from now. Sal Lopez in the call today. Game number 1 of 3 here at Wheaton College. So we'll be back in a couple moments on the New Max Sports Network. Back to action inside the Emerson Gym at the Haas Athletic Center, the campus of Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts. 21-17, Emmanuel leading set number 3. Emmanuel College up 2-0 in the match. As it will be Ariana Rajahi, number 12, who gets the ball to serve for Wheaton. George, off to Magic. Correa, Shea, over the net. Magic puts it over. Great defense by Emmanuel. Shea, over to Wilhelm with a diving dig. Shaheen, off the block. dug up by the libero Correa. Correa roll shot. George goes back. Rajahi sends it over. This is great defense all around. And it's a point for Wheaton. Long rally. And the Lions looking to mount a comeback, 21-18. Rajahi will once again serve. Down the far line, played first by Correa. Shea off the block. George Shaheen sends it over the net. Coleman off to Shea. Wilhelm. Shaheen to the back row, played by Correa. Shea to the back, it goes to Wilhelm. George sets up Shaheen, poked over, gets the point. Great change of variation right there at the front outside by Anna Shaheen. Rajahi serves. Goes to Correa. Coleman sets up Shea. And it will be a lift at the net, charge to Emmanuel. Wheaton on the run. It's a 1-point third set here. The Lions have come back just like that. Rajahi to the back row. Coleman tried to save it. Not able to get to it on the third time. Number 44, Julia Daggett, trying to down the middle. It's a tie match. Tie third set here, 21-all. Wheaton College up 2-0 in their first match today. As this is match number 1 of the try match here at Wheaton College. Emmanuel will take on Salem State. That approximately will start in 40 minutes. Unless it does go to a fourth set, probably will be pushed back. 21-21 though. Things getting interesting here. As Emmanuel, they were looking to see if they could force a fourth set, and here's Wheaton College tying it up at 21, looking to do it in 3 sets once again. We'll be back in a few moments from now here on the DMAC Sports Network, coming off the timeout. (21-21). Wheaton College will get the ball to serve now with a tied third set. It'll be Ariana Rajahi, the senior captain from Marlborough, Connecticut, who will serve. She had 2 service aces against UMass Dartmouth on Thursday in the season opener. Played first by Daggett. Coleman sets up Shea, blocked at the net. Goes out. It's a point for Emmanuel. And this will be the setter, Rachel Coleman, who will serve now for the Saints. Drifts it back to Wilhelm. George sets up. Big, strong kill right there by Wingler. Right to the scores table. The first-year players making an impact in the season opener for the Lions. Julia Wingler had 6 kills in 2 sets against UMass Dartmouth. Hollis Hansen had 6 kills, and Sydney Lyon had 4 kills. They combined for 16 of the 39. That's 41% in the first match. Big dig by Magic off the block. Kelleher with a volley. Correa off the Shea. Sends it back to Rajahi. George sets up Magic. Goes cross court. Here's a chance for Emmanuel. 22-all. Hyacinth blocked. It's a point for Wheaton. Anna Shaheen, Megan Kelleher, both there for the denial. The Lions now 2 points away from winning the match. spiraling off to Correa. Hyacinth gets the kill for Emmanuel. 23 all. Could very well go past 25. Winner would have to win by 2. Kerry Shea will serve. Sends it off to Rajahi. George with a set. Goes Magic. Cross court. And it goes out. Ricocheted off a Hyacinth. And out. Bailey Magic with a kill. 1 point away now for the Lions. Isabel Coca will look to do the honors. She's in to serve. Coca, strong serve. Played first by Shea. Set by Coleman. Hyacinth missed the mark. And the Wheaton wins the match, and the Lions go 2-0 in the season. Strong sets 2 and 3 by Emmanuel in their season opener, challenging Wheaton to the very end, but when it all came settled and done, the Wheaton College Lions able to prevail. 25-11 in set number 1, 25-22 in set 2 for Wheaton, taking the third set 25-23 as the first match today has gone final here at Wheaton College. Wheaton winning 3-0 over Emmanuel. Coming up in around 35 minutes from now approximately, we will have match number 2 here of the tri-match. It will be between Emmanuel taking on Salem State, as we will be back for that. And then the third match to close it out today will be approximately around 3 p.m. It will be Wheaton College versus Salem State, as Salem State will play their first match of the season coming up against Emmanuel. We'll be back on the court to take on Salem State for match number 2. So we wrap up the first match today here at Wheaton College. Sal Lopez in the call today on the NewMax Sports Network, as Wheaton College goes 2-0 in the season, winning in 3 sets, once again being pushed and challenged by their opponent Emmanuel through sets number 2 and 3. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us here, as we'll be back for set number 2 coming, for match number 2 coming up. It will be on another live stream here, Emmanuel Salem State, as we'll be back in a little bit for match number 2. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us, as we've been on the NewMax Sports Network.